bank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the result. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcasted like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's the number one chief rock in Knicks universe, your main man, Uncle Freezie, and welcome to the premier Knicks in the Nighttime show, the Knicks at Night Podcast. Salute, salute. And man, thank you to everyone watching us on X. Thank you to everyone watching us on YouTube. Glad you are here. Have a lot. Is that for me? Okay. Who is that? That's got ice in it. Thank you. All right. Yeah, y'all. Thank y'all for coming through, hanging out, rocking with us. I'm gonna honestly tonight, man, I'm gonna be touching on a touchy subject. So if you're sensitive, then this might not be the show for you. But if you want to hear the truth and formulate your own opinion based on commonly accepted practices, then this is the joint for you. Right? So I'm going to start out with my thought, a little thought I jot down just so I won't be all over the place. And then I'm gonna get into two thoughts, right? And have y'all tell me what y'all think. All right. So the Knicks are loading up on veterans, Malcolm Brogdon, Landry Shamet, Garrison Matthews. But when you bring guys in, somebody's gotta go. And right now, the spotlight is on some of the young guys. Kolek, McBride, Dadiet, Hukporti, Nnaji, Mo Diawara, whoever it is, right? These names are all floating in the gossip ether, right? But let's start with the big question, or the biggest question, right? Let's start with the biggest question, right? Youth versus veterans, right? On one hand, Kolek, Dadiet, Hukporti, Nnaji, Diawara, Beauchamp, if you count them as that, Dink Pate, if you count them, are all on cheap contracts and they're raw, right? They're raw. They're not developed. They can develop. Right. On the other hand, the Knicks are trying to win now, and Brogdon is playoff tested. Shamet and Matthews are floor spacers who know their role. So the real question is, do you roll the dice on developing kids, or do you load the chamber with vets you can trust in May and June? Right. And then there is Deuce, kind of like in that middle ground, because he's kind of in that vets, but he's still kind of young, right? Knicks fans love him. I love him. He's a bulldog on defense. I mean, I say that every show. He's fearless. He's got that grit that you need to be able to play in the city. But Deuce has issues, right? I know I say this a lot, and it's probably disrespectful. And I know y'all gonna take this some type of way when I say it, but every time I see Deuce McBride play point guard, I think nothing beats a Jet 2 Holiday, right? Every time I see him play point guard, I'm like, this dude is a D1 quarterback playing point guard in his spare time. That's what I think when I see him. When I see Deuce, I legit think very good athlete, point guard. I try to and I try to say it like in a non-disrespectful way because I don't want it to be intended as in a disrespectful way to Deuce or his fans. Right? Right? I'm one of them. Right? But when you bring in Jordan Clarkson, when you bring in Malcolm Brogdon, it tells everybody that when Leon Rose sees Deuce McBride play point guard, he thinks nothing beats a Jet 2 Holiday. He's thinking the same thing. That's why every year they bring in a guy, whether it's Alec Burks or Cameron Payne or DeLon Wright or Shake Milton. I mean, every year they bring in a guy to play the spot that's naturally fit for Deuce, though Deuce can't do it. And so what does that mean? Like, is there something that he's elite at outside of leadership and being an elite human being? Right? I think the dude is an elite human being. The point guard part is shaky. It's kind of like with your main man, Uncle Freezie, the number one chief rocker. I'm elite at being the number one chief rocker, right? You ask me to do something different, like sing, that ain't my thing, right? But in terms of talking about these topics in a way that's enjoyable and informative and present them in a way that's palatable, whether it strike a nerve and get you frustratingly interested in the conversation, or whether I say something that you hadn't thought about, or if I say something to you that you've been thinking the whole time, and when I say it to you, it's a cosign of what you had already been thinking, right? It's the same thing with Deuce. Like, Deuce is good at some stuff, but the one thing we need, and seems like he's a physical fit for it, it just don't go together, right? Now, with the thing about our kids and the second round picks, like if you, in my mind, I know the Knicks are going to keep Deuce. I know two or three of these kids are going to go, right? Two or three of these kids are going to go, in my opinion, right? But here's the thing. The Knicks finally started adding size at the positions that we needed size at, whether it's Pacome Dadiet, who's 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", depending on who you talk to, or Kev McCullough, who's 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", depending on who you talk to, Ariel Hukporti, who's 6'11", James Nnaji, who's 6'11", Mo Diawara, who's 6'8", 6'9", depending on who you talk to. When you trade them away for a second round pick, just so that you can add Garrison Matthews, Malcolm Brogdon, or Landry Shamet, you basically pick at the wound pick at the scab of a former wound, right? Like we knew we didn't have size. We went out the last 2 years and maybe compensated or overcompensated for the size. And then now you trade it away, get smaller so that you can sign Malcolm Brogdon and Landry Shamet to 1-year deals. No big deal, right? We'll just draft some more young guys next year, right? The thing about young guys is you don't know who is a fit for your system. And since we made so many trades, acquiring these players in the draft is going to be a little bit more difficult for us to pull off. All of that just to have Malcolm Brogdon, Landry Shamet, and Garrison Matthews for 1 year. Is it worth it? Or does it call for some type of balancing act? PL in the building. Sherman was good. Nick Yak in the building. The son of the legend, Kerry Cox, is in the building. Salute. HRM is in the building. E. Gibson is in the building. Ivory 10 says, I might decide to part with the youngster before I let go of a guy who can and will contribute to this chip year. See, the thing about it is, we don't know if big up, respect. The thing is, though, we don't know how much these veterans are going to come in and contribute. And is it going to be more? Would it be more than what one of these or two of these young guys were going to contribute also? Like we think Malcolm Brogdon is going to contribute more than Tyler Kolek. We think. We're almost sure of that. Right? That's about as sure as a bet. Yeah, it's about as sure of a bet that we could possibly take. The only thing is, Malcolm Brogdon's injury history concerns a lot of us. That's the thing. That's the thing. We know right now Malcolm Brogdon is a better basketball player than Tyler Kolek. But Tyler Kolek is a better basketball player than a Malcolm Brogdon in street clothes. And so we got to balance. It's that balance that we you gotta kind of think about, right? But this is the thing that concerns me the most. The Knicks are in kind of like a love triangle type thing because they don't want to trade prospects for veteran guys. They want to trade prospects for draft picks, which leaves them with roster spots where they can maybe sign Shamet and Brogdon, leave a space open so that they can rotate 10-day contract guys in that last spot. To me, that's the smart thing to do. If you have what they want to do is have Brogdon and Shamet for certain. And then in that 15th spot, they want to rotate in 10-day contract guys to see who best fits the roster, right? And then when they find the perfect 10-day roster guy, right, regardless who it is, right? Regardless who it is, once they find a match for that 10-day contract guy, Say it's Thomas Bryant. Say it's Thomas Bryant. Right? Word on the street is the Knicks are interested in Thomas Bryant. Right? Say Thomas Bryant comes in, and the fact that he can shoot the 3 ball and give you 6 fouls a night is a plus. Right? Then they'll keep Thomas, it'll be around March, something like that. They'll keep Thomas Bryant around. Right? But say if all the things that we know to be true about the Knicks roster in the NBA over the last few years are true. Say OG Anunoby misses time due to injuries. Say Jalen Brunson misses time due to injuries. And Jalen Brunson's been hurt a lot more than we let on, like a lot more than we acknowledge out loud. I think we don't mention that Jalen Brunson gets hurt because we don't want that to be a theme or a narrative or such and such or whatever. But Jalen Brunson had the sprained wrist, sprained thumb 2 years ago. Last year, he had the sprained right foot that he could barely push off, and he broke his hand that ended in the playoffs. Last year, he missed 15 or so games. And so it puts us in that weird spot of that 15th spot has to be flexible. Flexible. Sherwin says, word on the street is the 76ers is looking to trade. I was trying to tell IKB Dre that the other day, man, but he's a Jet fan. So, you can't tell Jets and Mets fans, bro. You can't tell them nothing about you Jets and Mets fans, bro. You can't tell them nothing about sports, bro. Salute to IKB Dre, man. I told them how the Sixers are, bro. But let me get back to this topic, though. The love triangle type thing where the Knicks are looking to make space. I was trying to tell Fritz Alcindor that Sherwin, the word the Sixers were trading. I was trying to tell Fritz Alcindor and IKB Dre this the other day, like the Sixers fans have had enough. But they don't believe me, bro. I'm only Uncle Freezie. I was trying to tell him that, man. And I'm not saying I told you so. I'm saying there are guys that are Sixers fans that I trust. They was telling me this all year. Like, yo, man, that man. Anyways, however it go, I don't know if they can trade him or not, whatever. I don't know if they can or not. I don't know. But when it comes to this weird situation we're in, where the Knicks are looking to consolidate in order to bring on these veteran guys, if here's the thing, if you trade Pacome Dadiet in order to clear up a roster spot for Malcolm Brogdon, you know what that tells the world? That tells the world that your front office cannot draft. If you trade Tyler Kolek, you know what that tells the world? That tells the world that this front office sucks at drafting and they don't have patience. If the Knicks legit package a few of these kids, say to clear roster spots for Malcolm Brogdon and Landry Shamet, what they're saying is our first round picks, our high second round picks are the same as dudes we can pick up off the street. If you're Leon Rose, the last thing you want to send, the last message you want to send to your fan base is, we don't care about draft picks because we never get them right anyway. And here's the reason how I got to this conclusion. The Knicks gave up a haul for Mikal Bridges. Basically, F them picks to get Mikal Bridges because he's proven and he's a fit. So the price is the price. The price is the price. Brooklyn said, no, we're not going to trade with y'all. The Knicks said, hey, what would it take? Brooklyn said, this is what it would take. The Knicks said, put the receipt in the bag. Right? Put the receipt in the bag for Mikal Bridges. I don't blame them. If you want something that bad, go get it. I don't blame them for it. I don't think it's an overpay because they got what they wanted. They got what they wanted, right? Knicks traded a bunch of draft picks for Mikal Bridges. I like Mikal Bridges, right? I'm not bashing the trade. That's who they wanted. They paid a bunch for him, and I'm excited that both sides got what they really wanted. But if you continue to trade away young guys like Obi Toppin for 2 second-round picks that we'll probably won't see for another 3 or 4 years, or trade away Quickly and RJ Barrett, or trade away Quentin Grimes in a deal that included Alec Burks and Bogdanovich. And then that's that generation of draft picks or drafted players. And then now you're going to trade away Pacome Dadiet and Tyler Kolek just to make get roster openings for 2 vet minimum guys. You know what message you're sending your fan base? We don't know how to draft, so we don't care about draft picks. We always mess it up, so instead of keep messing it up, we're just going to trade the draft picks away. I had a sense when I was doing this about 7 o'clock. I was like, Knicks fans have been conditioned to justify anything, right? We're gonna justify anything. I was thinking about this after the Bears got their behind beat on national TV. I was thinking like maybe at least the Giants or the Jets can win. This is my mindset. I'm thinking like, if my Bears can't do nothing, at least I can call up the homies and, you know what I'm saying, say, man, you know, Justin Fields look good, or Russell Wilson look good, or whoever, whatever, you know. But if you trade away your young talent only to get roster spots for cast off vet men guys, and they can still contribute. Now, I'm not saying that they won't be able to contribute. What I'm saying is it's a bad look on the front office. It's like it's a blemish. It's not a scar, it's a blemish. And so what that does is, and then what that also does is, when you trade away the young talent for draft picks for the future to open up roster spots for the vet men guys, you know what happens at the end of the season? Everything's gone. The young guys are gone because they left in a trade, right? And then the vet men guys you signed, they're gone. So the pipeline that you are looking to build doesn't have anything in it. And then you also don't have these vet men guys. Because vet men guys, if you notice, vet men guys, basically they hang around for a year. They may re-up if the situation is ideal. But for the most part, vet men guys are going to play that 1 year and they'll be out of here. And then next year you'll have to sign another vet men guy. So now your young talent is gone, the vet men guys are gone, and then if you didn't win the chip, and then if you didn't win it, say you lose in the finals in 7 games to Golden State or something. I don't know who coming out of the West, right? Whoever. How do you reload? How do you reload? Do you use the draft picks you acquired to bring in young talent to accent the roster? Why would you do it a year from now instead of doing it right now? Because if you do it a year from now and it works, you're like, hey, man, yeah, we tried and it works. But if you do it right now, you do it and it works. Next year, it should be even better because those young guys have more experience. So it puts us in that weird space. And I understand this is the time of the year where right before training camp starts, the Knicks aren't talking. Most of the stuff we get is from these highly reputable media guys and blah, 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 blah. To be honest with you, I don't believe any of them. I don't. And I do say Knicks for clicks a lot. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way to the people that drive up clicks. But yeah, no. So I understand, like, the rumor is the Knicks need to open up roster spots in order to keep Shamet and Brogdon and possibly Garrison Matthews. Right? Possibly. We don't know. When training camp starts, you usually have a bunch of training camp bodies. Right? Training camp bodies, you'll have some guys come in and we'll like them for a little while and they'll get cut. And then, we'll be more focused on the regular season than we are on guys that got cut. It's just nature. It's nature. We're Knicks fans. And everybody does it. Whether you're a baseball fan, you see guys wearing weird numbers, like a shortstop will be wearing like number 73. And you're like, oh yeah, he's not making the roster. Or in football, you'll see a white 5'7" receiver and with the lawyer haircut, with the Caesar haircut, and you be like, yeah, he ain't gonna make it. He gonna get cut. But he got to look though. He'll have that on his resume, right? And so while we sift through all of the offseason rumors and such about who may go, who may stay. What I would advise is when we see some of this stuff, don't look at the players as just money. Don't look at the cat figure, right? Because the cat figure doesn't play basketball. Players do. Right? Cat numbers, cat figures, dollar signs don't play basketball. People do. And in this time of year, like when fan bases, especially ours, we're constantly thirsty for news. Constantly. Right? So all somebody has to do is say something ridiculous like the New York Knicks are giving up on their first round pick 1 year into his development. Right? Think about this. If I want you to click a button, I'll say something like, the Knicks may trade Pacome Dadiet, right? And you'll just click on it by instinct, like, the Knicks may, according to who? And I'll say, according to a source close to the Knicks have had internal conversations about trading 20-year-old Euro wingman Pacome Dadiet to free up a roster spot for Garrison Matthews. Right. Now, to you, that might sound like, oh my goodness, Leon Rose is going all in. To me, that sounds like bullshit. Right. To me, that sounds like bullshit. Like, why would the Knicks abruptly give up on a 20-year-old Euro wings development to make a roster spot for Landry Shamet? Why would the Knicks give up on the development of Ariel Hukporti and Tyler Kolek to make a roster spot for Malcolm Brogdon? Now, I understand it may sound like I'm being sarcastic, but I'm saying this is how I see it. Right? This is how I see it. Right? Why would the Knicks basically trade a first round pick for an NBA player that's on a vet minimum that they got late in free agency? And I'm not knocking these people for doing their job. I'm not knocking these people for doing their job. And to be honest with you, I like Malcolm Brogdon and I also like Garrison Matthews. I like what I saw out of Landry Shamet late in the season. I was not a Landry Shamet fan all throughout the year. I thought he played like absolute paper bag trash. I thought Landry Shamet was puppy poo all year until that one game against the Washington Wizards, the last game of the season where he went off. And then he hit some shots against Detroit. And I thought that, okay, he's turning this thing around. Maybe he needed some time after the injury to kind of get back into shape. Cardiac Knicks is in the building. Yeah, and I know. Listen, I'm reading y'all comments at the same time too, and I see what y'all are saying. See what y'all putting in the chat, and I appreciate that too, because I'm thinking a lot of the stuff that y'all saying, I'm thinking the same thing, but for the sake of this conversation, I just have to add certain information to the conversation. Is would you be a contribute? Do you contribute to the dialogue? Like, do you try to make the dialogue smarter, or do you just stay emotional? Right? I'd like for the conversation to be smarter. I like to mention stuff and hope that y'all make me smarter, or hope that we all make each other smarter. Right? And not that it's mandatory, but just because we just like to have the best information. I'm trying to stay focused, man. Y'all put this stuff in the man. Come on, man. Kev Guapo, what's good? All right, I'm gonna grab one from the chat. I'm gonna grab Ivory 10's comment. Ivory 10 says, Brogdon is a must on this squad. I would trade Kolek for a late first or early second to open up room for him. That role is too important. I like the idea of what you're saying, but so late in the offseason, who's going to give you a late first round pick or an early second for Tyler Kolek when it's late in the offseason and you hadn't been to training camp yet? Now, mind you, I am one of those people. I'm about 9% certain that I would like to see Malcolm Brogdon start. I was about 7% certain. Right now, I'm about 9% certain that I'd like to see Malcolm Brogdon or some ball handling guard play next to Jalen Brunson to keep defenses honest and keep the floor spread. Now, am I saying he should play starters minutes? No. I think he should play Elfrid Payton minutes. Be a starter that's playing 6-man minutes, basically. But if you're a Knicks fan and you see all the hype, right? You see all the hype. Like Leon Rose has a few more moves to make. He's got a little bit more tinkering. He's got to trade Ariel Hukporti and Mo Diawara in order to make roster spots for Landry Shamet and hopefully bring in Thomas Bryant. And in my mind, I'm thinking, what in a 1-to-1 trade, would I trade Ariel Hukporti to a team for Thomas Bryant? I wouldn't do it. Because to me, the only thing Thomas Bryant does better than Ariel Hukporti is shoot 3-pointers. That's it. Now, is a big man that can shoot threes a valuable commodity? Absolutely. Absolutely. It's like ambrosia. Like when you taste it for the first time, you fall in love with it forever. Right? Like it's ambrosia. You taste it for the first time, you're like that Lauryn Hill song, "Sweetest Thing I've Ever Known." You know what I'm saying? Um, would I clear out a roster spot for Thomas Bryant? Would I move Ariel Hukporti for Thomas Bryant? I'm not for sure if I would do it. Now, we don't know what the Knicks front office is thinking, right? We know they know that there are certain things that they need to. They know that the Knicks can never have the back end of the bench be as doo-doo as it was the year we lost to Indiana in the second round. Y'all know the year I'm talking about when Tibbs looked at the end of the bench and down there it was Shake Milton, Daquan Jeffries, Charlie Brown Jr., and Dwayne Washington Jr. Leon Rose knows he can never have a back end of his bench that bad ever again. Ever again. And so by doing these moves here, it don't surprise me. All it lets me know is that a smart organization learned from a mistake. And nothing against Daquan Jeffries. Nothing against Dwayne Washington, who has never passed up a shot. I've never seen Dwayne Washington pass up a shot. Some teams need that aggression. Charlie Brown Jr. and that workers' comp cast, that man had a sprained wrist for 2 years. Him, I have something. Whatever. Moving on. Whatever. So the fact that they want to add quality veterans to the end of the bench, I think makes sense. Having Landry Shamet be a contributor, like bringing in Landry Shamet on a partially guaranteed contract to be the 13th or 14th roster spot, to me is an excellent idea. Because he's a quality NBA player when he's right. Right? He's a quality NBA player when he's right and he plays hard. Right? Malcolm Brogdon is a starter in this league that probably can't stay healthy. I don't know the reason why he can't stay healthy. I don't know. I don't know if it's his frame. I don't know why he can't stay healthy, but bringing him here with this medical staff, he may be able to stay healthy. We may be able to rekindle something. Nick Yak says Hukporti showed he could be a great backup center on the cheap. And I'm just going to say just this is just a Nick Yak. And so Nick Yak, this is the reason why the question for me is, would you trade him for 2 future second round picks down the road so that you could sign Thomas Bryant or Garrison Matthews or Landry Shamet? Now, mind you, whatever player gets those spots are going to be Knicks. So I'm not going to root against them because they were brought in to replace a player that I liked. I'm not going to be mad at them because they're here because they're going to be Knicks. Right? But how would you feel to see the Knicks trade away Ariel Hukporti to make room for Landry Shamet or Malcolm Brogdon or Thomas Bryant or Garrison Matthews? And if it's vexing to think about, if it's like one of those things that you want to think about during the course of the day. Then when you see when you see your phone light up and you look and you're like, oh, okay. Sticks and Clicks Knicks says they were in contact with a source close to the Knicks that says the Knicks may trade Pacome Dadiet, Tyler Kolek, Ariel Hukporti, Mo Diawara for future draft picks in order to sign Malcolm Brogdon and or Landry Shamet and or Garrison Matthews and or Thomas Bryant. Agreed. I'm with you. For the most part, Nick Yak and I are on the. For the most part, Nick Yak and I stay on the same page, even about Tyler Kolek, who I criticize, but it's not criticism out of hate. It's criticism out of critique. Critique is what it is. Hey, Randall, now if the thing about the Knicks would only from what I read from like all the sources, they're saying, and this lets me know, like when these guys type this stuff, when these guys report this stuff, are they vetting this stuff? Not against the Knicks, but against sound basketball judgment. Do they have a basketball person available around them to say no, don't send that. Don't report that. Get some more information on it. Attach somebody's name to it. So at least if you attach someone's name to it, it'll have some validity. But just to say, hey, the Knicks may trade Ariel Hukporti, Pacome Dadiet, and Tyler Kolek to make a spot for Landry Shamet and Malcolm Brogdon. The whole sense of it is questionable summertime rumor mill gossip for clicks to me. Rookie says Leon Rose crashing out. Hey, man. Hey, he possibly. I don't think so. I don't think so. Cardiac Nick says Hukporti is needed for depth. If Hunk is traded, what other centers we bring in? You won't bring in you won't bring in a center, bro. The whole point is moving like one of these youngsters that have trade value in order to clear up a roster spot. That's the reason why the reporting has been the way it's been. It's not about what value Hukporti brings as the third center. It's what value to the Knicks that Hukporti brings as the third center. It's about what value they can get on the trade market in order to free up a roster spot to sign Landry Shamet or Malcolm Brogdon. Right? Cardiac Nick says counting on Mitch to remain healthy is a really bad bet. I really don't want. Mitch has been, I don't know what it is, man, with people and Mitch, but I don't know, man, what it is. The whole thing, Mitch has been under fire about his statements about the slaying of the political figure, like his comments there, and then people are turning on him about his view about humanity. I'm not going to get into that, but yeah, I think people find Mitchell Robinson to be polarizing. I just like him. Fritz, what's good, bro?
Hey, what's up? What's going on?
I'm chilling, bro. The Jets, man, come on, bro. JETS, what are we doing out here? Oh my gosh. Russell Wilson. As soon as he let the ball go, I was like, this is his moment to crash. This is his moment to crash right here. Like, that's Russell Wilson in a nutshell. Almost, but not there. Yeah. So you heard any rumors? You've been talking to Lee? How Lee doing, bro?
You doing all right. We just, we talk in a little group chat, and they were saying I had a hot take. Because everybody's talking about Kolek, trading Kolek. And I was like, I said I wouldn't be totally shocked if he was traded, but I think Deuce would get traded before Kolek.
You're a maverick, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
gonna look at sometimes you just gotta use logic, and you have to use informed logic. Somebody can say, hey, Kolek just not ready, get rid of him. But if you're gonna bring in a 30, often injured, 30-something year old point guard for 1 year, don't you have to have somebody training behind him?
No. He
hasn't put together 50 games in like how many years?
So what?
So you have to be training somebody. So you're trying to, okay, I can't count on you. Like, if you're going in the season thinking that Malcolm Brogdon is going to play 65 games, you're very optimistic. Very, very, very optimistic. So you have to think, okay, when he's not there, okay, we'll throw in what's his name at shooting guard? The one who's shooting guard from Utah. But you have to have a plan for after that. Yeah, you have to have a plan for after that. If you think Dink Pate is like already leapfrogged, then okay. But if he hasn't leapfrogged him, then you have to.
No, there are plenty of veteran point guards on the street that you can just call that are waiting on a call. You don't have to bring up Dink Pate. You can still. Dink Pate is on developmental path, and that's what
I know. But I'm saying if it wasn't as cut and dry as trading Kolek for nothing, trading Kolek for a second round pick. Like, if you do that, there's so many negatives there. You have to bring. I could see trading Kolek in a consolidation trade where you're giving up 2 for 1, 3 for 2, and you bring back a better player than we had before. That makes sense. But I don't see trading Kolek for a second round pick, and then the person I put in that slot is Landry Shamet. Like, I don't see that part. Like I was saying yesterday.
Wait, it's a hole in what you, or at least there's a hole in the way that I'm receiving what you're saying.
Okay.
So if you trade Tyler Kolek away to create a roster spot, right?
Strictly roster spot, strictly one man out, pick come back.
Yeah. You free up a roster spot.
You're
right?
freeing up a roster spot.
Right.
The person you're putting in that roster spot is only going to be here for 1 year.
Yeah. Right. Yep. At least we assume that.
And okay, and then once you put Landry Shamet in that spot, there are 5 rotation players who are here for 1 year. 5 rotation players. So I don't see the sense in that, unless it's a consolidation trade, because I can't have 5 rotation players who won't be here next year, and I'm over the second apron, and all I got is minimums to be doling out.
And for that reason, you think it's going to be Deuce?
I think Deuce makes the most sense. Like Deuce isn't the point guard. Isn't the point guard you're looking to play. We already have 2 players at shooting guard who shoot. So basically you're looking at Deuce as a specialist.
What type of specialist, though?
Defensive specialist who can only play smaller players. And that's very limited. And not only that, after this year, you're looking at Deuce is looking at where's my extension after this year. And between me and Lee is like, oh, he's a good player. Like he should be re-signed for $12 million a year. And I'm like, $12 million for a defensive specialist?
For 3 years? For 3? What are you talking about? 3 years, $12 million total?
No, as a defensive specialist. And I'm like, I can't be looking at Deuce after next year if he gives us the same performance and say, Deuce, you're going to get a raise. You're going to make 3 times what you make now. I can't do it.
And this is the reason why. This is the reason why I stated it to Nick Yak the way that I was stating it. The thing is as a Knicks fan, I don't want any of these guys to go, because in the grand scheme of things, sports is entertainment, right? In the most simplistic way, it's entertainment, period. Right? Like it's not gonna pay my bills. It's not life or death. It's not like lose or go to the electric chair. It's not like that, right? It's entertainment, right? And so it's just one of them things, man, where, at least keep the guys that we, if you're not gonna win a championship, keep the guys we like. It can't be both. Right? You can't not win championships and not have a team we like. Right? That's just the point of it. Because for the most part, people will stop watching. People will stop watching. Right? I do understand people look at the analytics of stuff. And I understand that there's a difference between the calculator and analytics. I know what's data driven and what's not, whatever, right? In a perfect world, the Knicks do nothing, right? In a perfect world, the Knicks do nothing. We go to training camp and the best men win. And the last man out, go smoke a cigarette, go to the bus station, right? That's just what it is.
I don't think that's how it's going to happen.
Yeah, in a perfect world, that's what we'd like to happen, right? In our clickbait-driven society of clickbait headlines with no substantial evidence, we're thinking that Pacome Dadiet, Ariel Hukporti, and Tyler Kolek, Mo Diawara, either of them, a couple of them, could be gone in a deal to clear up roster spots. Right? Now, when you clear up the roster spot, can you bring in the guy that's worse than the guys that you traded away? And I'm not talking about max potential. I'm talking about the total package. Like, what happens if you bring in, what happens if you trade away, say you trade away Pacome Dadiet and Mo Diawara in a deal that gets you a first round pick, right? Say, and I'm saying I'm being optimistic, right? I know that's not going to happen, but Pacome Dadiet is a first round pick on a cheap first round contract. Mo Diawara was picked in the 50s, so he's probably going to be on a cheap contract. And say a team, gives you a first, hey, I'll give you a first round pick for them too. Why not? Right? I have 4 first round picks. Say it's Brooklyn. I have 4 first round picks in the first round next year. And I don't know if they do or not. I'm just throwing it out there. Say Brooklyn give you a first round pick for it just to take those 2 off your hands. And those 2 go somewhere and get a chance to develop and become, say one of them becomes Tamani Kamara, because a team legit slow roasted their development and it wound up being something fantastic, right? And you did all of that just so that Landry Shamet could be on the roster, right? And say you don't win a championship. I'm not saying that those guys do win you a chip, right? Say those guys do. I'm not saying that Mo Diawara and Pacome Dadiet is the difference between a chip or not. What I'm saying is, on the court, what I'm saying is they could be the difference in you winning a chip for a guy at the trade deadline that all of a sudden became available, and you needed them for a sweetener, right? Lonnie Walker, say a Lonnie Walker. I don't know. Just random role player that fits a specific role that the Knicks need, right? Just random role. Tari Eason. Say Tari Eason becomes available, and they say, "Hey, man, Pacome Dadiet."
That's an elite role player.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I mean, though. But you don't know if he'll be available or not. But then you can't go to Houston and say, "We'll give you Landry Shamet for Tari Eason."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I said if I see, instead of getting rid of Kolek, I see consolidation trade that brings back a better player. So 2 for 1, someone whose rotation signed for multiple years.
I'll tell you what I see. I see a slow offseason with a boring NBA champion, right? And people want NBA news, and we can't provide it to them because a lot of people feel like the NBA MVP is a fraud. The team that won it is in a small market and it's snooze fest. They're not even exciting to watch. Right. And so in a down offseason where we were begging for Giannis to get traded, nothing happens. And now you're just throwing out clickbait to keep people engaged. I think that's what has happened.
No, but like a trade must happen.
No, it does not.
I mean, Landry's going to be there.
A what?
Landry Shamet's going to be there. And Brogdon is going to be there. And to make that happen, you need to make a trade.
Do you know what kind of contract they're on?
Yes.
What kind of contract?
They can't get more than minimum. Most likely it's going to be exhibit 10 contracts.
He's saying most likely. I'm saying do we know for certain?
No, it doesn't matter.
It does matter.
It doesn't.
It does matter because we're speculating.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's Exhibit 10,
right?
or yeah, one of them is going to be Exhibit 10. But yeah, one of them, at least one, is going to be Exhibit 10.
Okay, but you don't know that for certain.
But it doesn't matter. Like, I think they are going to be on the roster, and they're going to make sure that they're on the roster.
But you don't know that for sure.
No, like
nobody does anybody have the contract details? Is
no,
there a
it's
place
not there. It's not signed yet.
Okay. All right. That this is what I'm saying.
But the difference between Exhibit 9 and Exhibit 10 is
tenure. These guys are tenured.
Yeah.
Malcolm Brogdon is tenured.
Yeah. So it's
that's the difference.
I mean, for most people, it's not going to matter. For most people, the difference between Exhibit 10 and Exhibit 9 it doesn't matter for the average fan.
It basically means something along the lines of a guy played 5 years of college. He didn't get drafted. You bring him in on an Exhibit 10. He's got limited NBA experience, right? And
it's just a way to get him in the camp. It's just
right.
It's just
for pay and insurance. These guys have to be insured while they're at work. That's basically what those contracts are for, right? They can't come in and play for free, and they can't come in and play without insurance, right? That's basically what these contracts are for. You want to pay them while they're here, and if they get injured, that way you'll be able to give them an injury settlement if they get injured in camp. If not, they just get cut. I mean, it's just what it is, right? But what I'm getting at though is what I'm hearing, and I don't know for certain. It's the reason why I want to state it. I want to put it out front that I hear that Landry Shamet's deal is partially guaranteed, right? I don't know what those partial guarantees are, right? The thing about Malcolm Brogdon is the Knicks and Malcolm Brogdon agreed to a 1-year deal. I don't know the particulars of the deal, right? Now, we assume that these two veteran guys are not going to sign some whack 360 deal, right? We assume that they know better, like they legit are going to be a part of the plans, right? And in order for them to be a part of the plans, they have to get a roster spot. And if the Knicks are over, say they have 17 guys for 14 roster spots, that means somebody's got to go, right? Because if we know anything about Leon Rose is not going to paint himself in the corner by signing a 15th person. He's not. He's going to leave it available, see what's out there, try to get the best thing money can buy, or keep it open to find a player that fits the culture and the team and put them on a couple of two-ways. And if that guy does fit, then Leon Rose will sign him to a partially guaranteed deal up until the deadline where you got to guarantee a contract. I think he's going to maintain that flexibility in that. But what that means is if you have 17 guys and you got 14 spots, that means 3 dudes got to go. Or not 3 dudes. 1 dude's got to go. Because if you got...
I think a lot of people are looking at it wrong. I think a lot of these are camp deals. A lot of deals we heard about DSJ coming in on a camp deal. A lot of these are just camp deals. Most likely what you're going to see is Shamet signing a non-guaranteed with a guarantee date. So like February 1st, whatever, and then Garrison Matthews,
or it'll probably be after the trade deadline. So it'll probably be like, because the thing is, you want to keep that flexibility in case you do a odd number deal. So you know what I'm saying. So if you got to cut somebody, you can cut Landry Shamet, right? Without it being I'm sorry, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, and also then with Garrison Matthews, the Knicks are loading up in the G League draft picks, like they did last year. So they're looking like they're gonna be selecting players high in the G League. So they're gonna try to get Garrison Matthews in the G League, and if they can get Thomas Bryant in the G League, they'll get Thomas Bryant in the G League. And if somebody gets hurt, they'll come up from the G League. But you can't do those type of things if you have only $44,000 space. You can't do those type of things. You only have $44,000 of space on the cap. So just trading Kolek out, you're not going to have that kind of flexibility. So more than Kolek is going out. If Kolek is going out, someone else is going with him.
Okay.
Like technically, they can trade Kolek, and the numbers will work, but they'll scrape by, like just scrape by. You're talking about adding the 15 guy right before the playoffs.
Yeah.
Who hasn't been on somebody else's roster.
Yeah. And we're talking about prorated contract over a year type scenario.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Or that's how it works, but that would be the ideal situation for that 15th roster spot come March 1st.
Yeah. So I think it doesn't make sense. Just the amount of players we got on the bench who won't be here next year, you need someone who's going to be sticking around. You need someone who's serious.
So what's the solution then? What's your solution?
Get a player who plays multiple positions. I would like somebody in the backcourt who's going to play multiple positions. He's going to be here for a few years.
No, I'm talking about the trade scenario. If you trade Tyler Kolek, then what?
Me personally, I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
But you mentioned Deuce. You said Deuce is the guy that's going to get traded.
I would think Deuce would go before Deuce before
Tyler Kolek?
Before Kolek. This doesn't do us much good. Like trading Kolek by himself doesn't do us much good. And it looks bad. It looks bad. Like you said last year, you could have had Ryan Dunn. And basically, what the Knicks are doing is like, we didn't need these three guys. Like we split. We had two first round picks.
Yeah.
Back to back. We had 2 first round picks, like almost back to back, and we turned to like 4.
Yeah.
And you're trying to say, oh, we didn't need all 4.
Right.
And I don't think they want to take that L. That's not L you don't want.
How is that an L though? If you just explain it to me so I can follow.
Like
you talking about looking back on that trade scenario? I mean the draft scenario? Or are
on
you
the draft scenario? It's like Kolek was the way we kind of stalked Kolek, we could have had him. He's almost like a first round pick. And it's almost like you threw it away.
JJP says the Suns drafted Dunn prior to us picking none.
No, we traded them. We traded the pick. We traded our pick down. We traded down.
We traded back first. Dunn was there for us to take, and we didn't take him. Right. And then in between us taking picks, the Denver Nuggets selected Ryan Dunn. Right. And then the Denver Nuggets traded the rights to Ryan Dunn on draft night to the Phoenix Suns. Is how that happened. Because I was there when they drafted Ryan Dunn, I was thinking to myself, that's a perfect fit because they just lost Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, or they were losing Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Bruce Brown. So to me, in my mind, that made sense at the time, right? And then they traded Ryan Dunn for something, I can't remember what it was, but I was like, hey, they traded him to Phoenix? What? Phoenix, because at the time, Fritz, if you remember, we all thought that the Phoenix Suns were going to draft a point guard. Remember, all the young point guards were still on the board.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, Tyler Kolek was still on the board.
Yeah,
I thought Tyler Kolek was a first-round pick.
Yeah, most people had him up on the board as a first-round pick.
Yeah, somewhere. I thought he was going to go somewhere between 26 and 25 and 30. Mm-hmm. And they didn't. They traded for Ryan Dunn. And so it was like a weird. And JJP, listen, I'm not being a draft snob about it, but Ryan Dunn is my heartstring, is all I'm saying. That's the reason why I'm just saying it that way, is because for months, I wanted the Knicks to take Ulrich Shamshi, Ryan Dunn, and Pacome Dadiet. I felt like if they'd have done that, then we'd be in high cotton. Just like the year I wanted them to take Ousmane Dieng, and they drafted him and then traded him to OKC to free up money. Yeah. Or the year I wanted them to take what's the ginger kid that's in Atlanta right now, the one that went to New Orleans, the shooting guard, the point guard that's defensive player.
Great Barrier Thief. What's his name?
Yeah, I wanted the Knicks to draft him, but at the same time,
Dyson Daniels.
I want them to draft Dyson Daniels, but at the same time, my guy was looking like a bust for the Detroit Pistons. The light-skinned dude they drafted before Obi, Killian Hayes. Killian Hayes was looking like a bust, and people was like, "Hey man, you can't draft." Oh, he's Killian Hayes, and I was like, Lee, I wanted them to take Dyson Daniels, and then there were guys like Matisse Thybulle and Killian Hayes that looked like the similar profile that wasn't good, So if they didn't take him, I'd have been like, okay, I really wanted him, and I thought Tibbs could develop him into an elite defender, right? And come to find out, he wound up being an elite defender on his own, mm-hmm. right? And so, but this year, with the rumors swirling, bro, the Knicks legitimately, in my mind, have to have a may the best man win approach in training camp, right? Because if Tyler Kolek, Pacome Dadiet, Mo Diawara, Ariel Hukporti, Mo Diawara, whoever, all look better than Malcolm Brogdon and Landry Shamet and Garrison Matthews and Thomas Bryant, and they keep those veterans anyway and trade away those kids, then now we know it's not a meritocracy. Now it's about relationship building mm-hmm. around the league still.
Well, that's what kind of did Brown in Sacramento.
Yeah. That's what I mean though, because listen, if the kids aren't ready, right? Mm-hmm. I think we can live with that another year or two. If the kids aren't, if Pacome Dadiet just turned 20, so if he's not ready this season, but he's ready in his age 21 season, it'd have been just like he would still be one of the youngest people in the draft. Yeah. After 2 years of NBA season, he would still be one of the youngest people in that year's draft.
Yeah. Right? That's why his name never, like, when they talk about trade, his name doesn't even come out of my mouth. Like, it does, like, it don't make sense. You can't give me a first round pick and that makes sense to me. Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, if I trade Pacome Dadiet and something else, and I get a really good player back, that makes sense. But I'm not going to trade him for an end of first round draft pick.
Yeah, no.
That doesn't make sense to me.
I'm not trading him to get a pick from the Oklahoma City Thunder that's going to be 28, 29, 30. No.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
No, I'm not doing that. That's resetting the clock, right?
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. But at the same time, if it's now tell me this. Have you heard over the last few years that Leon Rose is hesitant to trade Deuce, but they get they get inquiries and trade offers for Deuce all the time? Have you heard that?
I haven't heard it. I haven't really heard it as a thing though. I know Deuce has a market. Like people when they talk about trades, people always want Deuce included.
Right. That's what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if Deuce has the most attractive trade market, wouldn't he be the obvious choice?
Yeah, I think Deuce is the obvious guy.
Dre, what's good,
Because
bro?
I'm not giving like next year that conversation I'm having with Deuce about Deuce getting $12 million a year. I'm not having that. I don't want to have that conversation.
Man, no.
I could get somebody. I could get a specialist in free agency if you want to talk about that.
Deuces, do you know how many Deuces I can get with $12 million?
I know, but I said I can go in free agency and grab somebody.
Bro, I can get 3 Deuces with $12 million, bro. Why would I need 1 Deuce for
the only way a Deuce conversation would be had is if he came back on the same cap figure. That's the only way he's gonna be around. That's it. If he decided to play for $4 million again, God bless him. But other than that, yeah, he's getting flipped.
Yeah. And the reason first of all, let me just say this real quick. The Jets are a mess, bro. I legit part of that game. I was like, man, it don't matter what smart people you hire, bro. The Jets are just the Jets and the Mets, bro. It don't matter what smart people you hire, bro.
Mhm.
I'll say this, man. It takes time to turn around a dumpster fire. You can't just offload everyone that's bad in one off season, unfortunately. You can't indoctrinate a bunch of losers into winners in 2 weeks.
Man. And the dude, what's the dude name? Y'all got a dude named Lotion, right? The guard named Lotion.
Lotion?
He always get hurt.
Oh, AVT, Elijah Vera Tucker.
Somebody told me that man name was Alavera.
Well, he's soft like aloe vera.
Fritz, I think somebody said that. I thought somebody said that man name was Aaron Alavera. So I can't.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness, bro.
Football is not. It's not looking too good for New York right now. At least the Giants had an entertaining game. I heard. So I went back and I saw the highlights and it looked pretty cool. Jets was over within. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I knew it was over when we got like a roughing the passer penalty on the first drive.
Yeah.
And they got a touchdown after that. I was like, okay, yeah, this is over. This is a game I've seen at least 60 times as a Jet fan. At least.
They're the Chiefs, bro. The Buffalo Bills winning the Super Bowl, bro. They're this year's Chiefs, bro. You couldn't. I was watching the thing, man. I was watching Buffalo hole number 9. Whoever number 9 is for y'all defense.
Will McDonald. Will McDonald is gonna get 12, 13 sacks this year.
That dude came around the corner and a Buffalo Bill just grabbed him and spit him around.
And if you touch that guy, he will flop. What's his name? Josh Allen. If you go anywhere in the vicinity of him, he will knock his head back. He will do a 2017 James Harden. He will rip through and snap his neck back.
He'll do a 2025 SGA.
Yeah, rip through, snap his head back, look at the ref, and then the ref will be like, okay.
He'll do a Boys in the Hood in the alley.
Oh my, Ricky.
Yeah. Bro.
It was a very rough watch. Very, very rough. I was at the game.
Oh my goodness. I was on
Unfortunately.
that YouTube League Pass is groovy, bro. That YouTube League Pass is groovy, bro.
How much is? I thought it was like 30 or something a month or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's like
Crazy.
$35 a month, something like that.
That ain't bad.
Yeah, that's like what, $8 a week or something, $9 a week.
It ain't bad. What it got the multi-screen too?
I didn't try that.
And Red Zone.
I was watching, I was watching the Bears and Lions, bro. I ain't even trying.
My condolences.
Yeah, exactly.
I looked at my phone when I saw the score. I'm like, is that a real score?
Bro, they were cheating. So, man, like, and now they wasn't cheating in the blowout portion, right? The refs, they wasn't like trying to, but we went in halftime. The score was 21-14. They called us back out of the locker room so the Lions can throw a touchdown. We went. They legit called us back out of the locker room and put more time on the clock so the Lions can get another play to score a touchdown. Bro, when your team is bad, you're Rodney Dangerfield, bro. You get no respect. But Dre, what's the answer? How do we solve this issue of balancing roster depth, developmental talent, and proven veteran leadership at the end of the bench? Like, how do you balance that? Is there a way to balance it?
You invest in the guys that have a higher ceiling that aren't necessarily as old, and the guys you more or less can get more bang for your buck while they're not making a lot of money. So hypothetically speaking, if a team came and called, hey man, we want Kolek or Dadiet, you put Kolek in that deal 100 times out of 100 over Dadiet. So simply just because Dadiet is younger and he fills a position of need in terms of the backup wing. Whereas for everything that we've been looking at in the free agency market, it's guards of different types, either shoot first guards or point guards or playmaking guards. And we kind of have missing that void in terms of like a 6'8", 6'9" guy that can do multiple things off the bench. So like in order to fill that void and view it from a balanced standpoint, you have to view it from where Fritz is saying, where the money makes sense. And you also have to view it from a position standpoint where it's like, yeah, I think Pacome definitely makes more than Kolek this year.
Yeah,
I don't
2.8
think
versus 2.1. Yeah.
So, but he fills a position that we don't necessarily have, which is a backup traditional wing, like a wing's wing. Whereas guys like Yabusele is a 4/5. You know what I'm saying? So in terms of filling need, you got to fill out the back end of your roster with cheap talent that are needs, more or less. And to keep it a buck, where Fritz was speaking about how Deuce may have a market, the fact we have so many guards right now and guards you can acquire if we're talking about a contender where we literally have like 2-3 guards that are veterans that are just want to play for us for the minimum.
Yeah.
We can get ring chasers like nothing and fill that Deuce void.
Yeah,
year over year.
Bro, you can legit like,
Not to say that Deuce is a bum, but it's just like I'm not trying to hear that conversation about that extension and his agent come here talking about, like Fritz said, talking about $12 million. Absolutely not. I will move you before that conversation.
Bro, y'all would have to throw cold water on me, bro. I've been fainted, bro. $12 million a year?
For a point guard that can't play point guard?
For a point guard that's not a point guard? For a wing that's not a wing? Nah. And I like Deuce, bro. I like Deuce a lot. I think
Deuce is a boneless wing. That's what he is.
Yeah. No sauce. No, just a boneless wing, no sauce.
Or ranch.
Ain't even a real wing. And if you out there and you choose boneless wings over wings, you need to be committed to an
Therapy.
asylum.
You need therapy.
Something's wrong with you.
Yeah, you need
Bro,
therapy.
Freezie, I know a grown ass man that would eat boneless wings over regular wings. And he talking about, it's not as sloppy to eat it. I'm like, you are a grown ass man. You can't use napkins?
You can't.
You can't
When I
wash
was
your hands?
Man, when I was 18, when I was like 18, 19, I like boneless wings. But like when I grew I grew up and was like, oh, that's the difference. Yeah. When you're young, you don't know no better. You don't know no better when you're young.
Frizz, this is a 28-year-old man talking about boneless wings are better. Grown man.
I can't, man.
Tax-paying citizen talking about boneless wings are better.
A dude, I got one too. Not to be the one-up guy, because you know what I'm saying. Because I feel you on that. I'm like 100% with Dre. Like, bruh, they too sloppy. You don't know how to go to the bathroom and wash your hands. You need to, yeah. I mean, I don't get it. But I know a dude that keep buying boneless ribs. He like, man, yo, I'm telling you, dog, these boneless ribs, man, they be fire. I'm like, hey, bro, I trust you. I'm not doing. I'll take your word for it. But I ain't doing it.
We don't know what meat that is.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I need confirmation that this came from a cow.
Yeah,
it tastes just like. Yeah, that's just shapes.
And his thing is, you do it with the McRib, bro. That's the McRib, bro. That's the McRib. Right, McRib come around what every 6 or 7 years?
Yeah,
You know, whatever it is that
like cicadas.
Yeah, like every 6 or 7 years, whatever. Hey, shout out to Ty Barbie. I think Ty Barbie is the one that told me that he wanted to give Deuce McBride the max, not the max.
Oh
but
my God!
Not the max.
Don't put no smut on the good brother Ty Barbie's name like that.
I think Ty Barbie said like, "Hey TB, what'd you say? Like 4 years, 60 million or something?"
Wow.
It's something. Either him, it was somebody, bro. It was somebody was like, because I said, I was like, Mitchell Robinson is underrated, right? Mitchell Robinson is underrated. I'm like, Mitch, legit. If he had any offense, he'd be an all-star, right? If he had any offense, right? I'm talking about jump hook, left, right, catch the ball in traffic, facilitate, pass out to the open shooters in the corner off the double team. If he had any of that, Mitch is all-star level, right? In my mind, and everybody's gonna have their own opinion, right? I think he'd be any offense. Mitch would be 14-10, right? Elite defense, right? I think Tom.
The top Thibodeau offense makes you think we can't use the lob threat here and there
because of his fear of turning the ball over.
Yeah,
right. That's just Fritz is great to talk about nothing at McDonald's tastes like the animal it came from. Like the McFish tastes like chicken. Like
yeah, McDonald's gonna drop the McPlay-Doh one day, and y'all gonna eat it.
The burgers don't taste like burgers. The burgers don't taste like burgers. The
chicken don't taste like chicken.
Yeah.
Right. Dre, somebody mentioned, I was gonna hit you up the other day and tell you what somebody texted me, and I don't know why I be giving out my phone number. I'm gonna stop doing that shit. A dude texted me legit and said Mitchell Robinson for the young wing in Golden State.
Kuminga,
yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, nah. Yeah.
If you can't fit with Steve Kerr in a team-friendly offense, something is wrong with you. And that doesn't mean he's not talented. That just means he's not a team player to that specification.
I don't think Golden State knows how to develop, bro.
Absolutely.
That's what I think it is. I think they don't know how to develop, especially dudes that are raw. They don't know how to do. Like, you remember how raw James Wiseman was? And they was complaining about his pick and roll defense. He was like, his pick and roll defense is terrible. He don't have instincts. Bro, legit.
I
Y'all
think the worst thing that happened to James Wiseman was not being able to play in college the entire year.
Yeah. I think the worst thing that ever happened to him was he didn't go to a lottery.
Big man coach too, like a big man coach in college.
Yeah.
Because certain coaches can help you transition to the next level in terms of setting screens correctly, knowing how to rotate, playing some zones. Boxing out is almost like it's essential, and it felt like he was missing some of the smaller tangible things that big men do in order to stay on the court. And the Warriors, they had no time. That double timeline thing, that dual timeline thing, does not work.
It don't work. See, if he'd have went to Charlotte, say if they drafted LaMelo and he had gone to Charlotte, I don't think we having this conversation.
And man, it averages 16 and 12.
Right. Yeah. Because he'll play every night, play through his mistakes, play in a small market, no expectations, a lot of young kids, and you get to kind of grow up. But when you're playing for a 4-time, he got a ring with them, right?
Did he get a ring?
Yeah, I think he got a ring with them.
Well, yeah, he did.
Yeah, I think he got a ring with them. But Golden State never used a conventional center, or at least in the last 5 years, hadn't been using a conventional center anyway, right? And even now, Steve Kerr has been, or last year, this season past, they have been experimenting with 11 and 12 man rotations, which is odd because in theory, like NBA, you basically have an 8-man rotation, and the 9th man that plays usually is playing like 7 minutes. So it's like an 8.5-man rotation.
Hold on, Freezie. My phone about to die. I'll be right back.
All right. And then, and Fritz, and then some teams play a 10-man rotation, right? But they really only play 8, and players 9 and 10 play like 7 or 8 minutes apiece.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But in the box score, it looked like a whole bunch of people played. Steve Kerr, legit with Golden State, like dudes were legit playing in an 11-man rotation.
Yeah.
Which is bizarre.
But they had a lot of garbage time. When they had a lot of garbage time, so a lot of those small minute players were getting more minutes.
So what's your love affair with the guy that extracted in the G League, the Creechy dude?
No, he's been playing in Atlanta.
Yeah, he's in Atlanta, I know.
But we traded for his G League rights, but he never hit G League last year. Because I think the Knicks went to look at him last year. Just seeing him in, was that?
He's the 6'7" Euro, right?
6'8".
6'8" Euro, okay.
Nice catch and shoot. Shot 41% the last 2 years. Played 20 minutes a game the last 2 seasons.
Is he available now?
I don't know. Like, I don't know if he's available, but I think I'd trade Deuce for him because he got 3 more years in that contract. He got 3 more years.
What's the contract like?
This year he's 2.3. And he has 2.3, 2.6 next year, and a team option for 3 in 2027. So that's the kind of contract you want for multiple years. Someone who's gonna play, like he's gonna play, and then he'll bring some versatility. You bring him into the game, and Brunson all of a sudden doesn't have to hold on to the ball all day.
Right.
And he's a very good passer. I don't think you put him in like, hey, this is the point guard, but you can put him at shooting guard, but kind of like the point guard. But
you mean like in an Alec Burks type way?
In an Alec Burks type way.
Yeah. Ironically, Fritz, that's the guy that I want to have the last roster spot with the Knicks. Alec Burks.
Yeah.
To be your third guard and 3 guard lineups, and to be a wing player in wing lineups, right? And for everybody that thinks the third guard and a wing player are the same, it's not. It's not, right? Like legitimately, like if you play 3 guards, you're looking at 3 elite high level play initiators versus just looking at what their height says.
Yeah.
Right.
But we need players with size. Like you can't keep bringing in 6'1" guys. Because basically we're going to go into this year if the end game is OKC. If the end game is OKC, you can't keep running out the small lineup. You're going to need players with size. So, like, you have to kind of think forward. If we talking championship or bust, you have to be thinking OKC at the same time.
Okay. Is it to be the man, you got to beat the man, or are they the model franchise that you have to model yourself after?
No, you just have to consider them when you're building your team. I can't build some. Oh, you know what? This is great. We're gonna run through the East. You got to think about the West. Like you gotta. I mean, we not the same Knicks. Last year we talking about Eastern Conference Finals.
Right.
But I think a lot of people are thinking, like, I think people's reservations about trading Deuce is, where the defense going to come from?
Oh my God. Hey, you know
people
what?
Are like, I can't give up Deuce because of the defense.
That when
it's not Tibbs. It's not Tibbs. Tibbs lived and died on it. Tibbs lived and died.
I honestly think people just don't know basketball. They just don't. Right? They just don't. Just because you've seen something for 5 years doesn't mean that's the only way you do it. Right? Like when you know that, like if you've played, like if you ever went to a basketball tryout and made a team and saw someone get cut from the team, then you know, like certain things, like these things don't operate in a vacuum. Right? Like if you've walked around your campus and people know you for being on the team, or if you've gone to all these camps, we go to these camps, such and such weekend, you get on the bus Friday afternoon at 1:00, they give you a bag lunch and you ride like 2 hours and you spend the weekend at a camp where maybe Chris Mullen is holding a camp for high schoolers or something, and you go down and he teach you how to position your body when dribbling your left hand, what you should be looking at. Well, if you've gone through that, then you know that defense is a team construct. It's not a person construct. Some players are going to be better at it than others. At the same time, schematically, what your belief system is in terms of defense and all this stuff comes from a franchise standpoint where you're like, okay, you know what? Tom Thibodeau doesn't want to switch. He wants you to run through screens, right? The next guy may be like, you know what? I don't want you to get screened 7 times on one possession, right? Switch, call it out. The guy on the back line, give you an example, Fritz, right? And say in Tom Thibodeau's drop coverage, ice in the pick and roll, right? When Kevin Garnett was in it, Kevin Garnett was calling stuff out. He was a communicator. So the guys out there on the wings know when screens are coming. They'll know how to navigate and all that stuff, right? On the Knicks, everybody's calling out everything, right? You got everybody communicating with each other and all that stuff. And I get some of that sometimes. Sometimes you need a quarterback for your defense, though, right? Like one voice, like, hey, no, stay right here. Such and such and such. If you remember, I don't know if everybody remembers this or not, but when Reggie Bullock was here, he was the quarterback of our defense, right? MSG highlighted it because I was like, Reggie Bullock? And that's why he started, because he was a quarterback of the defense. Like, he would be like in between RJ and Randall. And if it's in the corner, he'll shove Randall out to the corner and Randall would go out there, right? RJ would be sagging back so he won't get blown by. He'll shove RJ up front on the guy so RJ know that he got help behind him. So if RJ get beat off the dribble, they can collapse on the thing. And it's one guy like calling the defense, right? When Reggie Bullock left, when we didn't re-sign Reggie Bullock, if y'all notice, we started to struggle defensively, right? People like, oh, Randall just don't want to play defense. You remember that, Fritz? You remember that? People, Randall just don't want to play defense, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And you like, and now they're like, RJ too slow foot to play defense. But when Reggie Bullock was here, they were adequate defenders. And by the way, both of them shot 40% from three. Just saying, right? With Mike Brown, depending on who the starters are going to be, I think you might have a situation where it's like the drop coverage will still be in play, but I think you'll see more aggressive man-to-man, denying passing lanes, denying driving lanes, contesting shots, staying down on shots, playing more physical, staying attached, bodying up guys. I think you're going to see more of that to your Oklahoma City Thunder point, where they are not going to have elite shot blocking at every position, but they play that UNLV running Rebels type defense where you stay attached physically to everybody and you're a physical defender and you're contesting dribbles, passes, and shots, right? And so you don't have to get a super alien to come in and play defense, because if you got five guys doing the same thing, then, for instance, if you get John Morant being guarded by Jalen Brunson, right? And everybody's like, oh no, he's gonna roast JB all night. Nah, he ain't gonna roast JB all night. JB is gonna stay attached to him physically, not giving him space where he can crank up, because these guys that are fast need a runway to turn their speed on. But if you're up in them and force them to be physical with their speed, you wear them down, and then it takes the leg out of their jump shots. Maybe they do hit the first 2 or 3 shots. Maybe they do start the game 5 for 7, but then they end the game 8 for 21, right? And while that's like 38% from the floor, is that not what you want from the other team superstar? Having that guy go shoot 38% from the floor, that's what we want. So the thing with Mike Brown and our roster, and we've been sold a bill of goods that if you don't have 5 guys on the floor with a defensive reputation, your defense is whack. And what we should be thinking is, can we get 5 average guys and a great defensive system, right? Because if the defensive system is great, then when one of those guys get hurt or need a break, right, you're not taking defense off the floor because the system is great and not the individual part. I know people, somebody hit me last year and said the Knicks need to trade for Rudy Gobert. It's like, Rudy Gobert for what? And they were like, so that we could have 48 minutes of rim protection. Can you imagine Rudy Gobert and Mitch? No, I can't imagine. No. I can't imagine that at all. It's like the guys that play shortstop. Like some guys that play shortstop have cannon arm, limited range, but a cannon arm, right? So they can barely get to the ball, right? But when they get there, they throw the ball to first base 100 miles per hour. And then you have the Omar Vizquel, Ozzie Smith defensive shortstops that can cover 2,300 square feet on the infield, right? Any ball hit anywhere near shortstop, their instincts and agility will get them to the ball. The only thing is they have pea shooters for arms. But since they have the instincts to get there sooner, right, they don't have to throw the ball as hard, but you get the same result. And it's the same thing with defense. The thing with defense is if you force people to shoot shots that they are not comfortable taking and they miss, right? It's the same thing as them shooting a shot that they're comfortable with and missing, right? Except if they keep shooting shots they're comfortable with and missing, eventually they're going to start making, right? But if you force them to take shots all night long from spots that they're not comfortable taking, they're going to miss all night long and maybe even defer and stop shooting. That's one of the things about defense and offense that when we talk about the sport of basketball and we talk about who's on a roster, what their temperament is, their height, weight, wingspan ratio, all of that stuff, we need to consider that maybe, right? Maybe the system that we ran was not an elite defensive system, right? Like when Josh Hart has to cover the box, the wing, and the corner, you're leaving that up to Josh Hart to decipher on every play, right? Sometimes he's going to make a mistake. Now, when you put Josh on the box, he's going to get you a lot of rebounds. And when you put Jalen Brunson on the other box, Jalen Brunson's going to draw a lot of charges, right? But what happens when a 6'8" wing player gets in their area and just shoots jumpers over top of them? You just got to live with that. But that was our system.
Mm-hmm.
That's just to your Deuce point, to the point that if someone says we're going to lose defense because of Deuce, I'm going to say to them that I'm sure we can find another guy to play defense, or maybe the system can be changed. Maybe we can switch more. Maybe we can run 3-2 zones more, right? Maybe we can run jump defenses like triangle and 2 against teams that only has 2 scorers. That's basically what Tibbs ran in that drop, pick, and roll coverage. Is basically the triangle and 2 look, where you got Bridges guarding the ball, the point of attack guy, and OG guarding the scorer. And then basically in a triangle, you have the center in the paint guarding, starting at the free throw line, Brunson on one box and Hart on the other, right? Can you mix up those looks? Yes, you can absolutely do that, right? But when teams know you run it 99% of the time, is it going to be effective? I don't think so. Oh, but you sound like you love. You sound like you didn't answer, so it sounds like you don't see a life without Deuce.
No, like I'm okay with trading Deuce. Some as other people, it's like, there's a hey, if you trade Deuce, who's gonna play defense? That's their response to me saying, hey, I think Deuce will be traded. But for me, it makes more sense to trade Deuce.
Yeah, one of the things I learned in life is anytime a decision comes down to an absolute, you're asking the wrong question. Mm-hmm. Like if the answer is an absolute answer, right? And I don't mean the truth. What I'm saying is things that have scenario-based answers, right? Like if teams think our defense is going to go in the toilet because Deuce is traded, then I'm questioning what they've seen. Because Deuce is a good defender and a great locker room guy, a leader, right? But if we think we can't find a point of attack defender if Deuce is moved, I think we bugging.
No, there are going to be other guys who hit the market. Like
there may be a guy on the roster we just don't know yet. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be Malcolm Brogdon, but Malcolm Brogdon at a time was known for defense and toughness. At a time he was. I don't know what he is now. So, yeah, man. So if they trade Deuce, is it just for Malcolm Brogdon, you think?
No, I think you have to bring something better back. Like I don't think you can get away with doing a trade just to get Malcolm Brogdon on the team.
Right.
I don't think that wouldn't fly. Like that wouldn't make sense to me.
Okay.
Knicks have to be getting something back.
The Knicks right now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 people on roster, according to ESPN. And that means one person has to be signed to that 14th spot. And then that 15th spot would be like their 10-day spot. And so when I'm looking at the roster, I'm looking at, they have Landry Shamet listed as a point guard. That's hilarious. Oh, Shamet's on the roster. So okay. Brogdon's on the roster. No, Brogdon's not on the roster.
Oh, where are you looking?
ESPN. I was looking at ESPN. I need to look at Spot Track.
Yeah, I don't think he's officially signed yet.
Brogdon? Okay. The only thing I think the Knicks need to lock in on getting is 3-point shooting. Right? The only thing I think OG and Bridges have to have career type years from 3. Right? And I don't mean 48% on 10 attempts. I mean something along the lines of 38, 39% from 3. In order to get for this roster to be at its most efficient. I think they have to be in a spot where defenders can't sag off of them when people drop the lane. When Jalen Brunson gets into the Brunson burner, I don't think people respect our 3-point shooting the way that they should. In a perfect world, JB would be able to cook without getting double teamed. But we know we're not in a perfect world. So Do you think Tyler Kolek helps in that regard?
He didn't show in summer league. He ain't showing in summer league.
I know.
I think you have to, unless they have to believe that the only thing that it's holding Kolek back is time.
Right. Yeah.
That has to be their belief.
Okay.
It can't be a question of will he be good? It has to be a question of time. Like, he just needs reps.
Yeah.
You can't have a question of is he going to be an NBA player?
That can't be the question, bro.
Yeah.
That right there, you're right. Yeah. That can't be the question for Deuce either, though.
Yeah. Because Deuce gave you half a season when he first signed that contract. And when they signed the contract, they said, that was a thank you to Deuce. He don't deserve it. That was a thank you to Deuce for his hard work. And he gave us a good half a season after he signed that contract. He shot like 41% or something like that. But since,
hey, let me make you laugh real quick. I'm gonna make you laugh real quick, man. Somebody just emailed me. A headhunter just emailed me. Urgent, like you know how they have urgent.
Yeah, yeah.
So I look at it. They want me to manage a group of agents. Do I look like I want to manage a group of agents, bro?
Oh, what's this? How many zeros? How many zeros?
No, it's base plus commission.
Okay.
I mean, I'm a salesperson to my heart, so the base part is less important than the commission part. Like I don't want you to cap my commissions. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm gonna be in the community. I'm gonna be at your flea market, your swap meet, all of that. I'm gonna just be walking around meeting people. I'm gonna be at the mall. You know me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Only thing though is I don't want to do that and manage people. I don't want to be fixing people time cards and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I don't want to be.
I like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I like working with the workers. But my job, every time they get a job opening, they don't interview me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I shouldn't be going through Indeed. I should just march up to the office and go in there and like, yo.
Yeah, man. I'm just past that, bro. I think maybe in a few years when I start cruising, you know how like you ready to take it to the house like right before you get ready to retire.
Yeah, you're just comfortable.
You know? Yeah.
Let me find a nice soft spot.
For something to like a nice soft landing for the next 4 years or something.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet. I probably got about 10 years. So,
my dad was here. Like he was working at Subway. He's like, like why you work in, because they don't pay a lot. Like the corporate don't pay a lot. I'm like, you could be making more money somewhere else.
And he's like, hey, I'm just trying to take it to the house, bro. I'm just cruising, bro. I cruise control, right?
Yeah.
I just find that funny, man, that you get an email 12 o'clock Sunday night. Urgent. If it was urgent, why didn't this thing come in Thursday? Right. But anyways, yeah. One of the things, man, about the Deuce thing, the Kolek thing, I hope the Knicks are not reading the headlines Like, oh, they bought in a guy, now they gotta make a move. And then the brass is like, oh snap, you saw what was in the paper? We gotta make a move.
But there's so many. I think that's what my argument was. It's like this can be solved in so many different ways that it doesn't have to be a rookie going out. Like, okay, what if the Knicks? Okay, we talked about Mitch and his contract. If they knew they were getting rid of Mitch, it'd just be solved in that trade.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be Kolek going out. It could be solved different ways.
Yeah. Mitch is only making 13 though.
Mm-hmm. I know. Oh, I was watching somebody today, and they were like, "Oh, maybe the Knicks should offer he should take it if the Knicks offer 4 years, $50 million." I was like, if it's 4 years, $50 million, he's walking.
Yep.
That long, especially if you believe in yourself, you want something short. So you like, I take something short. So next time, it's because Mitch's not that old. So
nah, he's young.
You don't want a long contract when you're getting underpaid.
Right. Right.
And everybody in the NBA the numbers is going up. Like, you don't want to stick yourself in that type of situation.
Nah, you don't. You don't expect. Yeah. The Knicks are in a weird spot, man.
They're in an odd spot. In an odd spot with Mitch. Like, a lot of different things can be happening right now.
Right.
A lot of different things can be happening.
Right. Ooh. The Knicks have Anton Watson, Marshawn Beauchamp, and Kev McCullers cap holes for 2 ways this season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they're gonna use the G League draft and try to get Matthews onto the G League team that way, and use those 2 ways on our guys. Like, Matthews I think he's too old anyway. But I think the 2 ways. If you have to use one on Diawara, you have to use one on Pate. Everybody ain't getting covered.
That means James Nnaji and
I don't know what and Nnaji jumped over here like he knows something, because he's saying, "Hey, I'm going." He didn't even give overseas a chance.
Yeah.
He said, "I'm sticking over here." I'm like, okay, somebody told him something.
Somebody told him something. Bro, that's what I'm saying.
Like, something is afoot. Something is afoot.
To be honest with you, and I know it's gonna sound, I know Lee Escobedo ain't gonna like this. I think Dink Pate is the odd man out. And the reason being is not that Dink Pate is a bad player. It's just the priorities.
It's just not enough spots.
Yeah, it's just the priorities, right? Like, legitimately, Mo Diawara is getting a 2-way, right? Because you drafted him.
Yeah.
Right? James Nnaji was drafted 31st in a draft that was the deepest draft probably since forever. If it was in that Wemby draft with the Thompson twin, with dudes like Cam Whitmore going in the 20s, James Nnaji went 31st to the Detroit Pistons. Then he was traded to Charlotte, right? In a regular draft, James Nnaji gets drafted 20.
Yeah.
Right? And so a guy with that much upside and potential, like, you're not just gonna let them walk. And if they do, they know something about. Now, I'm saying if the talent lives up to the draft positioning, right? Like, if the Knicks know he a bum, of course they'll leave him out there. But usually guys that are projected to go in a certain place, you know, then you kind of hold on to them. Now, Dink Pate, I like Dink Pate because of size, athletic ability, skill set, and age. But his development was set back a year because of the league he went to out of high school.
Overtime
yeah,
elite.
yeah. How you see how setback Scoot Henderson was when he got to the league, and how the Thompson twins offense was so set back when they came into the league. You could say the same thing about Dink Pate, right? That he's talented, but you have to undo that bad year of development and then bring him up to speed.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm saying he's worth it. I'm saying he's worth it. But then there's a numbers game in play though.
Yeah. I don't think you can let these guys walk. That's why I think you have to consolidate. We can't have that's when you take 3 guys, you turn into, or 2 guys, you turn into 1. That's why you do it. You don't lose those guys at the end.
Yeah. Hey, Luke Skywalker Visions think Mo D getting that last rookie roster spot. I don't think so, bro. I think that's going to Kev McCullough. I think that's going to Josh Hart Jr.
Yeah, just so much going on right now.
Yeah, man.
But consolidation is the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah, and there's no disrespect to Mo D, because I think Mo D is kind of worth the roster spot, right? The only thing is, if you look at the numbers game, Kev McCullough already went through this 2-way path last year. Why would you set him back on a 2-way path again?
Yeah, you can only do it one more time.
Yeah.
For him, you can only do it one more time.
Yeah. Is it because it's his age, right? He passed the age.
No, you can only do it twice for an NBA team.
Okay.
You mean that's what we did last year with Obi's brother?
With Jacob Toppin, yeah.
So we had him twice. We traded him at the end because we knew we couldn't have him back a third time.
Right. Right.
So, yeah.
That because the thing is, I think Mo D and Josh Hart Jr. are both quality NBA players with potential.
McCullough was never signed to an NBA contract, so he's still eligible.
I know.
No, in the chat.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's what. So I think those 3 spots, man. It's Mo D, Nnaji, and so they have room. Mo D, Nnaji, and Dink Pate. Then that means everybody's signed. That means Dadiet, Kolek, Hukporti are all on the roster, right? Then a room for a 4th young guy, probably Kev McCullough, right? And then the 3 other guys. That'd be a fit. But then what would that do? But how would that work when the rumor is that the Knicks don't want to give a rookie contract to that guy? They want to get in another veteran.
Oh, but I don't see that as a rumor. Like, I haven't heard that as an actual rumor. I think that's just a lot of this
speculation.
Content creators.
Yeah.
Just assumption. There's like an assumption. Oh no, that's two vets. That's an assumption. Nobody said about they only having 2 vets. Like if they move somebody in a trade, like there's another spot available.
Yeah, I can see that. And that makes sense in some context to me. I just, man. That's interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been tough because like people are like, hey, but what's your scenario? It's like I can't. There's just so many possibilities. You can't put together like one scenario.
Endless.
It's like yeah, they could do a million different things.
Right. Like I legit, one of the things I watched Gershon Yabusele play ever since the Celtics had him and Semi Ojeleye coming off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
You remember Semi Ojeleye from Duke? He transferred to Texas A&M when he had
the name, but not the game. Yeah.
Basically, the Celtics had two Anthony Mason looking dudes coming off the bench at the same time, and both of them, and they looked to me at the time like Anthony Bonner and Anthony Mason, like one, you know what I'm saying? One could, like Semi Ojeleye could handle a little bit, pass, a little bit, play make. He out there looking like, that man was out there looking like Antonio Davis with handles. and then you got Gershon Yabusele out there looking like Big Baby Davis trying to shoot threes. You know what I'm saying? And so, but yeah, I don't think that man. I don't think he's not a center. Like he don't have the instincts, the mindset to play center in the NBA.
He's wired as a scorer.
Yeah,
he's wired as a scorer.
Yeah, I think he's a scorer and an angry scorer who like not just like
he's not a. If we're talking about Gershon, he's not a traditional five in any sense. The only thing he can do is because he's solidly built. If there's like a cross match and his matchup is a guy that wants to post up, he can guard a post up here and there.
Yeah.
But in terms of like big man stuff, like protecting the rim, being a weak side help defender,
bumping cutters.
Nah. I mean, he could bump cutters because he has a long wingspan and he's a big dude, but
that's not his mindset though.
No.
Yeah, that's not. Luke Skywalker Vision says, ChatGPT just told me Kev McCullough cannot sign the last rookie deal because he already signed a 2-way contract last season.
He could sign, but if I have to guess,
he's not a rookie. Not a rookie deal.
Yeah, he's not a rookie. He has
vet
too
minimum.
much NBA.
He said vet minimum.
Yeah. The rookie, if there's a rookie contract signed, it'll be going to Diawara.
Yeah.
Because he's a rookie.
Yeah. No NBA tenure at all.
Yeah.
It ain't like baseball where you could come in and play for like 20 games and you're still considered a rookie the next year anyway.
Oh, yeah, y'all, before I get out of here, did y'all see the Crawford fight last night?
Oh, that dude got outclassed. Canelo got outclassed.
Bro, that southpaw boxing style, it's so underrated, bro. It's
underrated because everyone can't do it.
Right, and then it's hard to power
time up.
Yeah, it's hard to punch them, man. You gotta
like most fighters are used to fighting other right-handers.
They're orthodox, yeah. Like Fritz, I'm a right-handed person in real life. For some reason, God gave me like this weird thing, like I just punch harder with my left hand, and I got like a granite chin, right? Like it's not a talent it's just weird.
It's just life.
Right, yeah. Like legit, a dude got a running start and hit me on a button with a haymaker. I was like, oh, snap. And everybody in the crowd was like, ooh.
They expect you to go down, and you in the crowd with them too. Like, why am I not down?
Yeah, I'm like, like this dude trying to knock my head off. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, when Bud was coming in, did y'all see the pity pat thing he was doing on Canelo, like the little soft touches on his gloves, whatever? Yeah. What he was doing was just trying to throw off his timing, right? Like because he, as a southpaw, like you trying to time it up because these dudes are like this or whatever coming in like this, and you trying to watch like elbows and shoulders, Like for the southpaws, you watching the right shoulder because it's got to go back in order to come forward, right?
I was gonna say people were saying that he was trying to knock out Canelo. I don't think he was. I think he was trying to stay active
Yeah,
to make sure he's engaged so he can't load up and just
yeah,
wait to unload a
yeah.
shot over and over. Like he boxed his ass off that. And to be absolutely honest, Canelo's been on a downward trend for like his last 5 bouts. Like,
But he's not afraid of. He's still an excellent boxer, bro.
oh yeah, he's a boxer's boxer. Like, and he'll give credit when credit is due. He's not a sucker.
Yeah,
Like he won't come at the end and like, oh, I got robbed. Nah,
he a real champion, bro. Like legit, he know he a champion. In his heart, he know he a champion.
and
Right?
he'll go out on the shield. He's not cherry picking fights and ducking. Like, there's a lot of this stuff is for legacy. And then you hear like Tank wants to fight a YouTuber instead of an actual boxer.
Tank is off, bro. Yeah, my cousin's. It's gonna sound weird. It's gonna sound stupid, but my cousin's cousin knows Tank. Like they from Baltimore. They know him. They like, this dude is in the street doing. They're like, bro, how you the champ of the universe and you out here in the streets doing stupid stuff, bro? You begging to be on a 30 for 30. You know what I'm saying? You ain't doing. I ain't gonna say what he was doing because I don't know if it's true and I don't want to slander his name. But if any part of what they said about Tank is true, he begging to be one of them in 10 years on a 30 for 30 outside walking his dog, wondering where his money went.
If this is the case, he needs to go take that fight with that YouTuber and go retire somewhere on the West Coast as far as way possible.
But he can't because he taking care of a whole hood, bro.
Oh, that's the biggest issue.
He taking care of a whole hood, bro. Yes. But in terms of the Crawford and Canelo thing, man, the southpaw style, a dude taught me the southpaw style. It took me 2 straight months of not fighting orthodox, like legit.
You had to break all those habits.
Yep, all the things that you're used to. Because when somebody hits you in real life, you tend to like use
your reflexes to go with what you trust.
Yep.
And you got to build up that muscle memory and that trust in another style where it's no longer thinking; it's just reacting.
Yep.
And did they like tie one of your arms back, or
no? I had to put my hands. I had to hold on to my groin guard. So y'all know what a groin guard is, right? It's that thing that you like right under your shorts, that big thing like a parachute under you. So you tuck my hand and hold the back of my groin guard, man, and do the southpaw stuff. But it's not just that though. It's a lot of mirror stuff, like getting in the mirror, doing a lot of stuff, just man in the mirror, doing a lot of
it's changing your reflexes.
Yep.
Which sounds hard to do.
Yep, shuffle, sidestep, pivot, feint, all of these things, right? Like you ever saw a tennis ball hanging from a string from the ceiling, and they just in the ball just rock, and so you just there just doing all you just all of that, all the stuff you see on Rocky, that's like real stuff, and that stuff where you out, bro. I was gonna say chasing the chicken, except chasing the chicken,
and the eggs, just eating the raw eggs.
Yeah. So it's now dudes just take the protein powder.
Yeah, but back then
Chris back then dudes is like eating raw steak, like legit, scald the steak on both sides and eat. Nah, man, ain't nobody doing that stuff like that. Now dudes just take creatine and all that stuff, man. So
shout out Alawaz in the chat. But man, you know when I knew it was over, Freezie? Canelo used to be able to just punch through your jab. Like you could send a jab, he'll just go right through it.
Just right through it, just eat it, yeah.
And he was just like, he couldn't break through the jab because he didn't have the power that he once had.
Yeah.
The power or the speed.
Yeah.
Before, if you tried to play that pity pat, I'm going to just keep tapping you away, Canelo would just still stalk you through it.
Yeah.
But he got like frustrated around round 4.
Yeah.
And that's when Crawford realized, hey, man, he can hurt me, but there's a lot of stuff I can eat.
Yeah.
As long as I don't get all the way in his grasp, like
Yeah.
I can tank a lot of these hits.
Buck hit that man with a haymaker right hand, and it spent Canelo around, and Canelo looked like, "Hey, fool, you trying to embarrass me?" Like legit. If that had been Spence, we'd have been at Spence repass. Like, yeah, man, Spence was a good guy, bro.
Yeah, Canelo took it and reacted, and the only reason he reacted like that because he has one of the greatest chins of all time.
Bro, yeah, bro, man. But before I dip, man, I just want to say, it's a rough weekend, man. The Bears, Jets, Giants, Mets. I don't know.
The Mets got to win.
I don't know what's going on, bro.
It's the dark days,
bro. And so what I'm getting at is, I hope this don't bleed over to September, October, November, December. Because if the Knicks start out slow, I won't be able to take it, bro.
You know why it's like this. The Knicks took all the good talent, the good winning energy, and they just using it for themselves. They hogging it right now.
Yeah, they hogging it. Okay.
So that's what it is. They hogging all the winning juju.
Right. Yeah. So I hope that's what it is, man.
Because when's the last time we had a ring chaser or multiple ring chasers want to join our team?
Mm-hmm.
For vet minimums, not even guaranteed contracts. Just
not even guaranteed. Yeah. Hey
man, take this training camp deal. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah. We'll work something out. Yeah. I think so. I do believe somebody's gonna go, bro.
In terms of a trade, yeah. I wouldn't doubt it.
You know what, Fritz? You know what my heart is telling me? My heart is telling me the guy's gonna be gone.
Who?
My heart is telling me that's gonna be Mitchell Robinson.
You already know Freezie. You already know Freezie. I've been saying.
I don't want them to trade. I don't want them to trade Mitch, bro. I want Mitch to retire a Knick, right? But I think if we're talking about a guy that could just moving him would solve a bunch of problems, cap wise, is Mitch. Because if you trade Mitch for a pick, whether it be a first, 3 seconds, whatever it is, now you're talking about all them guys that you was talking about was like on it. Now you can sign all them guys and bring in, you know, and you won't ever be able to replace Mitchell Robinson. You won't, right?
What if one place I think they could trade Mitch? You may have to have a few teams to do it, but LA. And LA has a first, like a future first to give.
Yeah, I don't want to trade Mitch though.
You know what? I don't want to trade Mitch East at all.
I don't want to trade Mitch. Period. Mm-mm. Even after his political comments, I'm like, hey man, let that man live, bro.
No, I think Mitch is. You know how Mitch is. He don't be thinking too deeply about these posts he'd be making.
Right.
You know what I mean?
He just be saying what's on his heart, bro. I don't blame him. Like I'm not blaming him. I'm not a Mitch hater.
Yeah, I don't think he's necessarily wrong, but sometimes you could kind of see, hey, this might be controversial. And I might not be trying to be controversial myself, but other people can take it a certain way.
He be crossing the lines of church and state, and sometimes you don't need to be doing that.
Yeah, you don't need to be doing. And we disregard it sometimes. We're like, hey, man, that ain't nothing.
That's just Mitch.
Yeah, that's just Mitch. Yeah.
I don't knock it. As long as that doesn't affect the on-court product, I do not care.
My thing is, hey man, you saying that on social media, you better be hitting your damn free throws when you come back. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, at least he's not as bad as MPJ, but
oh God.
Yeah. Oh, MPJ is in the right city for that, bro. They gonna roast that dude, bro. But anyway, hey, thank y'all everybody for coming through. Jets fans, keep your head up. Giants fans, keep your head up. Bears fans, I guess we're gonna be out here waiting on Arch Manning. So, the saga continues. Caleb Williams probably be the quarterback of the Giants next year. So it's just how we do, bro.
Best believe if your head coach does not like him, they gonna try to get him a quarterback. And y'all gonna do the Bears thing all over again.
Yeah. So, but the cool thing is, the Bears gave up 52 points on national TV.
Oh.
52 points in an NFL game, bro. They legit gave up 26 points in the second half of a game. And the Lions were not even trying to score. They was running the same plays over and over. So not to tip their hand for next week because they knew the game was over and we still couldn't stop it. Right? And then on top of that, our best players, our most highly played defenders, were all walking off the field due to injury. So it's not even going to be better next week.
Oh, God.
Yeah, man. But at least we overpaid for a bunch of linemen that didn't block today. So that was awesome. The saga continues. Yeah.
Wait until the next episode.
Yeah. All right, everybody. I'm going to get out of here. Thank y'all, everybody, for coming through and rocking with us. And I appreciate all the love and support that y'all show. Man, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, Replay Gang. I see y'all. I enjoy y'all stuff in the comments, man. Y'all keep putting stuff in the comment section, man. And I'll chop it up with y'all later, man. Peace, everybody.
I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal for how I express and project from my abdominal.